Meta shares plummeted on weak fourth quarter forecasts and an earnings miss, which has resulted in Meta stock being down over 33% in the last month and over 28% since the earnings announcement. And as you guys know who've been following me on this journey, that I have already got 100 shares of Meta around the 140 mark, but I also had a 127 put, which I've also been assigned on while I decided to take assignment. Therefore, that gives me now 200 shares at $139.50 cost basis. And what we'll do in this video, we'll break down my two covered calls that I put on for last week, as well as how I'm doing on Tesla and overall. So make sure you like and subscribe. So week 14 is the lowest income that I have made so far since I've started this challenge 14 weeks ago. And the previous low was week 3 of $610. So both Tesla and Meta have been dropping. Tesla has been slightly increasing over the past week or so, which made the roll quite difficult because it was quite close to my current strike. So my buyback was quite expensive. So that was the main downfall, as well as Meta absolutely tanking on earnings as well, which has again made me acquire another 100 shares. So overall, as you can see, we made 540 with a goal of 1,029. So I missed the goal by 48%. Didn't spend too long on it, which is probably the only blessing of this process so far, is I've got a lot of time on my hands when it comes to trading perspective. In terms of cumulative tracker, we're over 2 grand now behind where we should be on 14.4, and we've done 12.2. So 15% down over 14 weeks. I'm not going to complain with it. And I'm about 1,000 behind hitting my minimum $2,500 monthly target. So let's break down the trades, and we'll start with Meta. Just realized I forgot to add the test screenshots on here. Apologies for that, but we've got the Meta ones, and that's where the majority focus on this particular video. So what happened week 14? We firstly had a 144 call, which Meta is currently trading at $92. So that was very easy to buy back after earnings when it dropped under $100. And you can see now I've started to sell a cover call at $105. Managed to pick up $103 net premium, which is still pretty good. And then on Saturday, I was assigned the 100 shares at the 124. So the 124 put Meta dropped to about $100 after earnings and about $98 on the Friday. I could have rolled out and down. But again, I'm realizing very quickly when we're trading for a living, when we're not giving back some of our profits to roll down, you're kind of forced to really take assignment of the shares, really, or roll at the same strike for minimal credit. Whereas I'd rather take the shares and sell a new covered call, which I did on the Monday at the 103 strike for $53. So I could have rolled it at the 124, picked up pennies, a couple of dollars, or I can accept assignment and start making some at least decent amount of money. So where we've netted out on this is you can see now I own 200 shares at $139.50. Again, we were at the, I think it was the 150, I think it was a 150 mark over here. So now we're at 139.50. So that's dropped the average down with 200 shares. And now we've got two cover calls. Because I was assigned on the Saturday, I couldn't really place another cover call till the Monday, which is why we've got two different strikes here. Ideally, what I would prefer to do is have one strike with the 200 shares. It's easier to manage. We can see now I'm recording this on a Wednesday. We've got 2 days to go. The Fed announcement still pending. That markets are slightly down today. I think it's probably going to be a sideways market. I don't think we'll penetrate the 103. That's a big move in the next couple of days, unless the Fed decides to kind of pivot. So that's kind of where we are on Meta. Where we look on Tesla before we get the Tesla chart up. Again, this is where kind of the struggle was. Here is I had the 225.50 I think Tesla closed at about 228. So I kind of really had to push this up, and therefore the buyback was getting quite expensive. So I did this on a Thursday, which is unlike me. I had to do something a bit early. So I bought it back for $606 and I rolled up to 232 for 990. And we can see here that Tesla is currently 223, or 230, 250, which I've got here. So it can very easily get there. We'll get some consolidation at this kind of pivot level where I wanted to kind of stay above from. And yeah, hopefully I can get a decent roll. I'm going to have to start taking risks now because to be fair, I'm still quite close here. And I think these two will be all right. So if we look at where we kind of are with this, look, I need to make 1,000 a week, right? Where if I trade at a covered call about 100 across 200 shares, I'm looking to make around 200, which means I have to make 800 on Tesla a week if I'm just to maintain what I'm doing here. So what I probably need to do, I need to spend some time, depending on how this plays out in the next couple of days, is really utilize the technical analysis and my skill set around there to go a bit more aggressive, to generate more premium based on from a technical level, because otherwise I'm going to start falling behind here because I'm already $2,000. I've got to not only maintain the 1,000 a week, but also crawl back an extra $2,000. And you can see here, 1, 2, 3. It's only 4 weeks out of 14 where I've actually hit the target. And the first one was on week 1 where I didn't own any shares of anything. And I'm not really beating these marks here. They're only like either pretty much even or slight beats. But when I'm behind by quite a bit here. So, there's one of the main things I think, or frustrations that I have with this in terms of trading for a living, is the account is small. It is a small account, 125 grand, trying to generate 53K a year. What is that? I think we talked about this in the beginning. It's a 42% return on your money. And obviously I'm holding unrealized losses at the moment in Tesla and in Meta, but I'm still trying to generate that kind of weekly premium. I do have 12 grand available, which now looking at where Meta is, the 95, 96 or dollar mark, another put on Meta might be another thing. Again, it brings down my cost basis if I was assigned. But I've only really got one more attempt on this, really. Otherwise, I'll be fully invested and then I'm relying on covered call income. So I'll wait to see how things play for the rest of this week. Might put another Meta put on just to generate some more money, but at least from the covered calls, I'm looking for 200 here. I need to at least be hitting. What did I make actually on this? 384. I need to be making 600 at least on Tesla. 200. That's 800 a week. That's still 200 behind the top. So these are the kind of challenges at the moment that I'm facing. I'm still bringing in the income coming through, which is good. I've hit the minimum 2.5K totals every single month so far. I need to hit another 1,000, so another 500, which I should do over the next 2 weeks quite comfortably. The challenge is going to be trying to break out this kind of deficit at the moment, because it's just going to get bigger and bigger as time goes on. But this is why we do these kind of challenges, to really test ourselves and to test ourselves in the market, because the strategy I am employing is a bullish strategy. And if we look back here, I sold the 720 and obviously we've gone down, divided by 3. Is that right? 240? 240 mark? Yeah, so, I was selling the 240 where before the Tesla split, and, we're currently at 225. So Tesla has dropped. And, when I started, I was doing the 148 put. Now I've got the 103 call inside here. So again, that's dropped by nearly half. And this is dropped by 240, about 10-15% Tesla has. So, both stocks have been down on this bullish strategy, but still generating the income, still have cash available on the sideline. So it's not doom and gloom at the moment. I'll continue with this. Want to show you guys the good and the bad. I'll be releasing a video soon on what I've learned, trading for a living for income versus training to grow a portfolio, because the mindsets are different, and I'll go on to those inside a future video. So hope you've enjoyed this. Check out this next video now, which looks at, how to sell puts, how to sell covered calls. If you are brand new to this in terms of the strategy, playlist for all of these is down below as well. And I should see you guys in the next video.